Hello, Maximizers. This is Milton Herring, and you have just grabbed your free MP3 on connecting to your purpose today, the 10-day guide. And I'm so excited for you to listen to this because I know it's going to bless you, it's going to help you, and connecting to the purpose and stop missing out on what you've been designed for. Connecting to your purpose, it equals connection to your life and all it's worth. Given the many opportunities that exist on a daily basis, you will never have to guess what you're meant to do today. Listen to this 10-day guide and groundbreaking talk on why you have been missing out on your life today, and it's really gonna be life-changing. Okay, let's jump right into it. Day 1. Now take your time with these. After each segment, each guide, each section, I want to ask you to pause this recording and really meditate it on for the day. Do the steps that I ask you to do and really take your time. So in 10 days, number one, you'll start to create a habit of listening to this recording, but also you'll start to create some groundwork and foundational work to see yourself going to that next level and creating the dreams of you that you desire and experience the satisfaction and peace in which you always envisioned. All right, so here it is. Day number 1. Go envision. Envision the specific details of what you want to accomplish. Ask yourself how this level of success will impact what you do. Identify limitations and determine potential solutions. Connect your vision to a meaningful purpose. Is it something you can be actively engaged in? Put your vision for every growth cycle in a visible place that you can refer to it regularly and be passionate about it. You know, envisioning is to create a mental image of possibilities grounded in reality, awareness, and nurtured by meaningful purpose. Every organization should have a vision for itself. Why not every person that's listening to me have a vision for themselves as well? And I want to challenge you with this thought that your vision, you're not fighting on, is this vision the right one for me? You're fighting the fact is the vision that you have the right one. And I guarantee you this, if you have a vision, number one, that's pure, that's noble, that's right, that will encourage others, that will help others, that will allow you to love others and love yourself, that is the right vision. Envision that reality for yourself and take your time to do that and make it very specific. Detail it out so you don't have any more questions about what it is you're looking at and what it is you see. The envisioning process, I guarantee you this, when you spend time envisioning and you refer to it regularly, it then becomes ingrained into your DNA. And when it's ingrained into your DNA, it becomes a habit that doesn't require any thinking anymore. It's just a part of who you are. Now, this vision that you're envisioning has already been deposited into you from birth. I just want to let you know that when you do take the time to, number one, be specific with it. Number two, ask how this will impact you. Number three, identify limitations, determine potential solutions. Number four, connect your vision to something really meaningful. And number five, put it in a place where you can grow, a visible place you can grow and refer to it regularly. And those are things that you can do, especially being passionate about your vision. So envision today. Take the time to envision daily. Spend 5 minutes, spend 10 minutes. Once you craft this out, envision what you see for your life. And I guarantee you, you're going to start connecting to your purpose today. Now take some time, pause this, and get through this exercise. And join me on the next day. All right, Maximizer, welcome back. This is day number 2 to the guide to connecting to your purpose today. And the second point I want to give you is to enlist. Enlisting, surround yourself with a network of strength by inviting and committing the involvement of the right people, not just other people, but the right people. You need to build yourself a network of strength to understand that when you are surrounded with the right people, that's when you can grow. Because we can all surround ourselves with just people, but these people are not always the right people in our life to help us with the vision, to help us connect to our purpose today. Knowing this, that real relationships are reciprocal. What you will get out of a relationship is proportional to what you give to it. So if you're the right person for someone else, I guarantee you they will become the right person for you. Here, I'm going to give you 10 points to enlisting, all right? Number 1, keep in mind that networking is about genuine and authentic connections, building trust in relationships and seeing how you can help others. Number 2, you need to define your goals before participating in networking events or enlisting the help of other people. You know, remember in day 1, we talk about envisioning. You need to have that process of envisioning down in your DNA. You need to have it so ingrained into you that when people ask you on the spot, you know exactly how to respond. You have the ability to respond. Number 3, visit as many groups or people and opportunities as you can as possible. Find yourself getting around people that you maybe normally wouldn't get around, just to introduce yourself to that environment and see maybe even that environment that you're trying to fight against, maybe the one that you need to grow. Number 4, hold volunteer positions. Try to give yourself opportunities to volunteer at different events and opportunities that come up. I guarantee you, listen to me, Maximizers, there are so many volunteer opportunities around that you can't shake a stick at. There's so many. You can't throw a rock 10 yards by hitting somewhere where you can volunteer. Try your local city. Try your local nonprofit organization or your religious establishment. Volunteer. Not only will it be a blessing to the people that you're helping, but it's going to be a blessing to you and allow you to get around other people that are like-minded. Number 5, ask open-ended questions, especially when you're trying to enlist other people or network with other people. This means questions that ask who, what, where, when, and how. I suppose that can be answered with a simple yes or no. This shows other people that you're very interested in them. Number 6, become known as a powerful resource for others. Not only we're trying to connect with your purpose, but you become an expert in your particular field, in particular thought, in your particular vision. Become that expert that people can go to you for direction as well. Because I guarantee you this, guys, listen to me. I teach purpose a lot. And when I talk about it, purpose always begins with you, but it definitely ends with others. You can't leave this earth without your purpose ending with other people. Your purpose should always be a distribution center for your purpose. It should flow out of you to other people. Number 7, have a clear understanding of what you do that sets you apart from those maybe in your field, maybe in your particular area of expertise or your particular area of thought or whatever it is. Find out what sets you apart and live that. Number 8, be able to articulate what you're looking for and how others may be able to help you. Because I guarantee you this, when people find out and they hear you that you're on purpose with something, they're going to want to know how they can help you. They're going to want to know what they can do to better your situation. Not everyone's so narcissistic that they don't care about you. I guarantee you that when you're on fire, people want to come watch you burn, or they're going to want to know how can they add more gas to your fire. Know what you're looking for. Number 9, follow through quickly. If you're going to network and build a strength of people around, the right people around you, follow through quickly. Don't take too long where you don't follow up and follow through. Be efficient and be actionable, action-oriented when it comes to follow through. Number 10, contact those people that may benefit from what you do, or contact those people that you see that you may be a benefit from what they do. People love to help, and people love to know that they're serving something that's greater than themselves. Do that, reach out. And I guarantee you're going to enjoy yourself and find yourself hanging around the right people. Let me end this with you. When you're enlisting, identify the needs of your vision and search out the people that can help. Conduct an inventory for this growth cycle. Leave no one out. Constantly cultivate relationships of trust. Involve yourself in groups and organizations. Number 4, identify people that can play an active role or a supportive role in your growth cycle. Be specific about the results you hope to attain from enlisting the individuals you've selected, and be prepared to communicate the vision that you've created. Be connected maximizers. This is the end of day 2 towards your guide. Now take time, pause this, and go through this. Really soak into it and find and craft ways where you can start to enlist the right people towards your vision. Welcome back, Maximizers. This is day number 3, guide number 3 to help you connecting with your purpose today. Third point I want to give you is that of communication. To communicate is to convey ideas that instill conviction and establish relationships of trust. And the biggest thing is communicating with ultimate clarity. Now, the process and content of communication in an organization or even with yourself defines the culture and overall identity of the organization or person. Great leaders like yourself communicate with passion. They're able to clearly convey their message, but also add conviction to that message through their communication style. Internal communication ultimately affects your external communication. Internal communication is that which occurs within you, a person or within an organization. For example, like if you're looking at communication between fellow employees, external communication is that which takes place outside of the organization or outside of yourself towards other people. For example, communication with customers, clients, vendors, agencies, other people, etc. External communication is set in place by internal communication. If you want to present a particular image through clear and effective communication to the outside world, you must first strengthen internal communication. Maximizers, I'm going to stress this fact. Internal communication, it will be the key to connecting with your purpose. Now, most people wake up in the morning struggling with their internal communication, struggling with their doubt and their fears or their lack thereof, lack of sleep, lack of money, lack of time, whatever it is, it's always presented with your day starts with lack. And so throughout your day, you're projecting lack. I can't get my work done today. I'm too tired today. I can't deal with this customer person today. I can't deal with my kids today or my spouse today. Wake up with a sense of fullness. Win the battle of internal communication. The 6 inches between your ears will be the most important battlefield you will ever draw, especially when it comes to your internal communication. Win the battle of internal communication. When you communicate, I want you to communicate with conviction to the people you've already listed. Remember those right people we've enlisted? Communicate that. Demonstrate your passion. Find ways to show that you're passionate. Be a go-getter. Be an expert. Be somebody that's willing to go the extra mile. Number 2, communicate internally before you try to communicate externally. Speak it to yourself. Say it out loud. Does it sound good to you? If it sounds good to you, it's going to sound good to other people. Listen for a response to know that they understand the vision. When people know, you got to be on the same page with other people that you enlist. They have to be on your page. You have to be on their page. Know that everybody knows what the plan is. Communicate that clearly. Number 3, if they're not passionate about your vision, you haven't communicated well enough or you haven't enlisted the right people. Keep the shepherd and the sheep out of your organization. Check for feedback to assure clarity. You got to draw the lines. You're going to be a shepherd or you're going to be a sheep. Number 5, provide a clear picture of what the vision means to the people you've enlisted. How will you accomplishing your purpose, your vision, help this other person or help your community or transform your family? Enlist it, draw the line, let them know what you're doing. Paint the picture clearly. And number 6, realize the process of communication never ends. Go back and communicate the vision again and again so you can renew the passion. A great way to ignite a passion is to go to a teaching, go to a training, find something that you're excited about, sit there, listen, be inundated with the words of wisdom, the teachings, the knowledge, the communications, the networks, whatever. Go to a training, be around, get a teaching that will spark your passion. And also this communication will also help you do that as you go back and over again. You cannot just do it once. Don't rely on doing it one time. Go back over and over and over again. And the last thing, Maximizers, is be very clear. Clarity, clarity, clarity. I can't tell you that much. Most people lack direction in life because there isn't any clarity in the communication. Communicate clearly, and I guarantee you're going to be even further down the road to connecting to your purpose today. Take the time, pause this, let this soak in, write down some thoughts before we move on to day number 4. Welcome back, Maximizers. This is day number 4, guide number 4, and we're going to talk about clarify. I know we talked a lot about in that communication being very clear, but let's go a little bit deeper in what it means to clarify. To clarify is to attain focus by identifying priorities and converging efforts toward a specific direction. The last guide, we were just sharing what's on our heart, what's our vision, our purpose with those that we're listing. We're allowing that to come out because we've identified it within ourselves internally to external. But this day talks about clarifying because we want to attain a focus. Now we have a general idea of what we're going to be going towards and moving towards. Now we want to create some type of focus and identify priorities and converging efforts toward a specific direction. What is the other person going to do to help you? And what are you going to do to help that other person? The importance of attaining focus. If you look up the word clarify in the dictionary, you will find the following definition. To make an idea, a statement, etc., clear or intelligible, to free from ambiguity. Your vision, your purpose may mean different things to different people. The whole idea of attaining focus is so that the vision is understood and becomes realistic and attainable. Focus helps you to say, there's the vision, but here's what we're really going to accomplish. It is important that when you clarify, not only are you bringing the whole vision into much more concrete objectives, but you're also clarifying the specific roles of the people you've enlisted. A business owner not only wants to clarify what the overall details of a particular directive are, but to also clarify to the key individuals what their responsibilities are in regards to that directive. Just like your vision, when you enlist those right people in your life, let them know. Don't be awkward about it. Just let them know, hey, this is going to be your role in helping me to accomplish and connect and attain this vision today. And when you do that, I guarantee you're going to be able to accomplish what is in store for you as well. Listen to these 5 points when it talks about clarify. Have conversations that enable you to hear what others think about the vision. Understand their perception so you know what needs clarifying. Number 2, remember you are clarifying 2 things, the vision and an individual's role in that vision. Can they really articulate it back to you? Number 3, work with people you've enlisted to prioritize how the vision is to be accomplished. And that's very important. Prioritizing how it's to be accomplished, because a lot of people, we can be like cats, let them go in a room and they go all different directions. We don't want that. We want to attain focus. Number 4, create a clarification table or some type of format to give yourself the ability to check for balance and responsibility. And number 5, value the feedback and opinions of those you've enlisted. This is important to allow yourself, maximize, to allow feedback if something is maybe not going the way it should go, or if there's ideas for even attain more clarity and more focus towards the vision. Remember that you enlisted them for a reason, and so you have to be collaborative. Remember that, Maximizers, be collaborative. All right. So go over these points again. Listen to this again if you need to rewind this, but really take some time, meditate on this before you move on to the next day's guide. Okay, welcome back, Maximize. This is day 5 of the guide to connecting to your purpose today. And today we're going to talk about strategize, how to strategize towards your purpose, how to strategize towards your vision. Because think about it, Maximizers, your purpose it's a journey, but there's a point you want to get to. You want to be able to live it out and maximize it. Take the time to strategize your purpose, strategize your vision and your plan. What is your dream? What has God given you? To strategize is to use insight for considering options that will lead to the achievement of projected results and a position of advantage. Now listen, strategy is not necessarily planning. We haven't got to the planning phase yet. But strategy, often when we talk about this principle of strategy, people ask, Milton, when do we start planning? It's important to realize that the whole process of creating a growth cycle, a vision cycle, a purpose cycle in the first place is in the effort of planning. But in fact, both strategize and design will be most closely linked with planning in the traditional sense. And we're going to talk about design here in a minute in the next guide. Planning is usually done in sequential format, going from one step to the next in an effort to complete a task or goal. The only problem with that approach is that it seems to make an assumption that there would be no external conditions that could affect your plan. It is any wonder then that many times we get frustrated with the efforts of meeting our plans. The most common analogy for strategy is the game of chess. It's an accurate one because if you planned a game of chess, you would surely lose. To win at chess, you create a strategy that allows you to act and react depending upon the circumstances of the game. In the game of today's business or game of your life, planning is not a total answer. Listen to this quote: strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. I want to share with you this quick case study about strategy. Wicker Works Inc. has been creating candles for over 20 years as a manufacturer and wholesaler. They produce over 75 different scented candles in glass jars and containers. 80% of their business has been in the advertising novelty industry, selling their candles to banks, chambers of commerce, etc., who place their logo on the candles and give them as gifts or premiums. With the growing success of scented candles in the retail industry, they would like to develop a strategy, to enter the market by potentially placing kiosks in shopping malls throughout the region. They have very little retail experience, but they do have a lot of cash flow to devote to this expansion. The scents of their candles have always been very popular for their clients, but they would not be competing with their existing business structure. If you could take some time, when you pause this, could you create both some insights, some assets and liabilities and options for this potential opportunity? That's some homework for you to do that one. But as you do that homework, I want you to think about this. When you go strategize, number one, identify what elements make your vision unique and powerful. This is what creates that position of advantage. Number two, consider what things could hinder the progress of your strategy. Make sure alternatives are entered into your strategy. Number three, make a list of your assets and liabilities. Plan for ways to utilize and overcome. Number four, involve others in the process of strategizing to create multiple options for the design. Allow people to play, quote unquote, I like to say, some people say devil's advocate, but we're talking about creating an opportunity, poking holes or challenging the strategy. That's what we want to say. And number five, retain the strategy for later when you evaluate and adjust. You may need to alter your strategy depending upon results and directions. And the key point here is be insightful. Got that? Be insightful. All right, Maximizers, take some time, pause this, go through those excess steps and create a plan for that candle company. Just a quick one. Jot some notes down as you work on this plan, this guide of strategy. Okay, welcome back, Maximizer. This is day number 6, the guide of number 6 to connect to your purpose. And today we're talking about design. The previous guide, we talked about strategy. Now we're going to talk about design. To design is to prepare a blueprint of action that assigns responsibility and provides structure while allowing for innovative flexibility. Now, there's 4 D's to the guide of design when it talks about connecting with your purpose. Number 1, decide. Great leaders are willing and able to decide upon a course of action. Once this decision is made, they stick by it and take full accountability for the outcomes related to the decision. The next D is define. Great leaders are clear in defining expectations, making sure those that you enlist or those that you're working with or counterparts, employees are clear about what it is and is not expected of them. When employees or people are clear about their role in fulfilling the vision, they are liberated to act and be their best. Number 3, the next D is direct. Great leaders provide clear directives regarding expected outcomes, but allow for innovation. Clarity of direction is comforting for other people. Truly, people want to be secure when they need direction. People need direction. This direction provides structure and assigns clear responsibility. And the last D is detail. Not something that that's not one of my strengths maximizers, to be transparent with you, but it needs to be done. I can do it when it needs to be done. Detail. Great leaders are willing to collaborate with others and consider multiple options. The way in which a job or business or vision is performed can be personalized to meet a person's needs and personal style. Overall quality assurance still rests upon the leader, yet innovative flexibility allows for the person to do what they do best in the way they prefer. Give them direction, give them detail, but allow them to maximize their strengths in accordance with the details they've been given. Think about these things when you talk about design. When you go design, think about these 6 things. Number 1, your strategy creates the initial outline for design. Look for actionable items that can be incorporated into your blueprint of action. Number 2, design must be consistent with the vision, the envisioning process. This is the first step by actually doing something about that vision. So we went through all the other 5 steps, and we haven't even started the process of walking out the vision. Design is the first step to that. Number 3, if several people are involved in implementation of the design, have them help to create some of the action items. This will ensure realistic milestones and tasks. Number 4, define which elements have innovative flexibility and which ones are foundational. Number 5, make sure that the designs account for responsibility and accountability. And number 6, if I skip one, I apologize. And number 6, as with the blueprint, a successful design should be able to be referred to on a regular basis to check for successful implementation. That's why we have blueprints for homes, so we can go back to it over and over and know where we're going. Where does this go? Where does that go? Is this the right measurement? What is this wall for? Go back to your design over and over again. And the last key is be determinate. Be determinate to follow through on your design. Takes a minute, soak these comments, these words in, these principles in, these keys in, and allow it to be part of your fabric as you connect to your purpose today. And we'll see you on the next guide. Hello, Maximizers. Welcome back. This is guide number 7, and we're going to talk about implementation. We went through the strategy process and the design process. Now we're going to implement. And to give you a working definition of implement, I'm going to tell you to implement is to activate the design in a manner that is consistent with the defined vision. Consistent with the defined vision. And this is going to be a very simple one because I don't think I need to tell you, Maximize, that you're go-getters. But I'm going to give you 5 points to implement when you go implement. Number 1, be definitive about when the process of implement is to begin and end. Give yourself a start date and yourself a finish date. Number 2, it is a very common necessity during implement to go back to other principles such as enlist or clarify. Allow yourself to do so. Don't be afraid to go back to other steps, other guides, other days to get going on your purpose and connecting with it. Number 3, specify what the consistent qualities are so that you have something to measure against. Number 4, make sure to provide sufficient motivation and resources to allow the vision to come to fruition. And number 5, if you find the efforts in implement lacking, go back to envision and rekindle the flame. You know, when we get started on our vision, we start moving down the road and we start taking those steps of implementing what we've designed and what we strategize and what we've seen in our heart, what's imprinted on our heart and our mind. We can sometimes get maybe a little down. We get a little bit routinish. And we need to go back and reignite that. When we start feeling like it's more work than a joy, go back, reignite the vision, go back to the vision, look at it, go over again, talk about it again, rekindle that flame. And when you're implementing, last key and point insight is to be willing to move and be willing to go forward. Now take some time, pause this, go over this section again. Hello, Maximize. Welcome back. This is guide number 8 to connecting to your purpose today. And this one is called evaluate. Evaluate. Here's a working definition. To evaluate is to appraise the significance of progress and identify opportunities for improvement through a formal assessment of predefined benchmarks. Here's a quote I like from Alice in Wonderland. One day Alice came to a fork in the road and saw a Cheshire cat in a tree. Which road do I take, she asked. Where do you want to go? Was his response. I don't know, Alice answered. Then said the cat, it doesn't matter. That's written by Lewis Carroll. So you want to evaluate alignment of direction. Are we pointing in the right direction? Are we going towards the mile markers that we've set for ourselves in the direction of the purpose that we've seen and envisioned? Are we headed in the right direction? To evaluate is so much more than just looking at the results of our efforts. It is a full-blown evaluation alignment of our work and our direction. You're talking about your vision, your positioning, your benchmarks. In your vision, are the daily steps we're taking consistent with our overall vision? When we're talking about your position, are we consistent with current market trends or opportunities or whatever's going on out there? And benchmarks, are we creating the results that are specified in our blueprint of action? Evaluate. Think about these keys when we're talking about evaluate, these 4 keys. When you go evaluate, number 1, define the benchmarks and direction at the creation of the whole purpose cycle. Don't wait till you get to the step to begin evaluating. Look at your efforts on a consistent basis and ask yourself, what am I doing today to make strides towards my vision? Am I moving myself forward to my purpose? Am I living my purpose today? Number 3, stay in consistent touch with your industry and things or within your purpose field, wherever you're at, that affect your trends. Take note and action on things that may affect your current cycle of growth. Number 4, give people the ability to ask questions about how much you're aligned to your purpose or to your vision. Be discretionary. Be discretionary when it comes to evaluating towards your purpose and connecting to that today. Excited for the last 2 that are coming up. And take some time, pause, meditate on this, and we'll talk to you soon. Welcome back, Maximize. This is guide day number 9. We're almost there to the finish line for you to feel and sense the satisfaction that you're connecting to your purpose today. This one is adjust. I love adjustments. Love to go to chiropractor. Love to get adjustments. Sometimes I'm just out of whack in my spine or neck, and a great adjustment puts me back in order. To adjust is to refine a course of action in response to identified needs in an environment of expected positive change. What are the things that you have to change positively to get towards your purpose? Confucius said this, when it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. Adjust the action steps. And you need to be able to refine whatever it is you need to do. So what does it mean to refine? Too many times when people think about adjust, they think it means that they're going to make drastic or wholesale changes to their vision, strategy, or design. If you look at the American Heritage Dictionary, you will find that the accurate definition of refine is to reduce to a pure state, to purify. You don't change what's working, you take out what's not working. Got that, Maximizers? Take out what's not working. Every vision, every purpose has a pure state. The achievement of arriving at a point when you know you are accomplishing exactly what you were designed to do. And when you find struggles during this process, resist the tendency to bail out or start over or create a new cycle. Stick with what works and let go of what isn't working, and continue to refine your efforts and your goals. Thomas Edison said, of the 200 light bulbs that didn't work, every failure told me something that I was able to incorporate into the next attempt. Love that quote. When you go adjust, remember these 5 points. Number 1, identify the greatest priority, what needs to change immediately. Number 2, measure the needed refinements. Remember that refining is as simple as removing what doesn't work. Number 3, consider the other principles and areas of adjustment. Go backwards from implement to design, to strategize, and clarify, communicate, and enlist. Number 4, clearly communicate and articulate to everyone involved what the cycle, what adjustments are being made, and the necessity of those efforts. And number 5, any major adjustments should be made within the next time cycle or next process you go through. And remember this, a key insight, maximizers. When you adjust, just be flexible. Be very flexible. Go with the flow, I like to say. Go with the flow. Take some time, meditate on this, and we'll check you on the last guide to connecting with your purpose today. Welcome back, Maximizers. You've made it to guide day number 10 and connecting with your purpose today. And I want to talk to you about, this one is my most, I love this guide, this section, because it talks about renewing and going forward, moving forward, thinking bigger, not just thinking outside the box, thinking in the box, and creating such more traction with your life. And the word we're talking, the guide we're talking about is increase. The working definition for increase, to increase is to embrace continuous improvement by exploring new ideas that expand the vision, exploring new ideas that expand the vision. I want to give you a quick analogy of the farmer. It had been an abundant year for the farmer who planted his crops in early spring, having tilled the earth when the weather was still crisp. Throughout the remainder of spring, he carefully monitored the weather, checked the soil, fertilized, and watered the crops. As summer approached, his crops began to grow, and very soon he found himself with fields of growth. He continued to water and also made efforts to thwart insects or other maladies. As several months passed, he found himself with very fertile fields. Towards the end of summer, everything was ripe and ready for the harvest. The farmer used people and equipment to reap the bounteous harvest and was thrilled with the rewards of his work. So, does this story end here? Can the farmer keep harvesting the same growth time and time again? No. As soon as the farmer's done with this year's harvest, as excited as he is, he begins to think about next year's harvest. What will he grow, and are there ways that he could increase his yield? Think about that. If farmers always are thinking ahead and thinking after they reap what they've sown, you should be doing the same thing as a maximizer. Not only do you say, you know what, I've gotten this goal, this vision I've seen, I've gotten here. What's next? What's next? Listen to this Kaizen focus, creating a Kaizen focus. The Japanese have a concept called Kaizen, which is translated as continuous improvement. The term was made famous in 1986 by Masaki Amai in his best-selling book, Kaizen. The key to Japan's competitive success. Kaizen is a good way to understand what the step of increase is because it creates a culture of continued growth. Increase helps companies and people avoid the plateau that often stagnates a vision or idea. Many companies simply get to the point where they are using all their resources and efforts just to keep up and maintain. The great benefit to this strategy is that it helps those within an organization to maintain what we like to call Kaizen focus. Most individuals and therefore departments have a limited amount of time where they can focus energies and passions before it simply becomes too routine to invoke any significant effort. It also helps companies to avoid the negative thought process of changing for no reason at all. Through the process of the Kaizen focus, individuals and organizations will soon look to increase not as an end to a project or program, but the beginnings of the next successful stages the person will embark upon to find their continual growth. Maximize, you have to increase once you start seeing fruit from your labor, start to increase. Think about the next steps. So when you go increase, think about these 5 points. Number 1, ask yourself the questions throughout the growth cycle. What comes next? Number 2, commit yourself to continuous improvement. Number 3, solicit feedback to help you gain the initial foundation for the next personal purpose growth cycle. Number 4, commit those you've enlisted to further collaboration. And number 5, look at the areas of evaluate and adjust for potential changes and improvements And the key insight for this is be continuous. Be continuous. Maximize, I hope this has blessed you and connecting with your purpose today. You are worth your purpose. You're worth everything that you have been ingrained with and designed for. You have all the tools. You are full of greatness and excellence. Let that come out of you on a daily basis. Today is the day to live your purpose, connect with what's great inside you, and to help others along the way. God bless you. I hope this has been a blessing to you. Bye-bye.